Hey Libra, welcome to Germinate Tarot. We are down a germ because she is doing awesome stuff with her house and her job and just making really good changes. So she needs to do that and she'll be back for mid-April. So sorry, it's just me. But she is here in spirit because we're using Sacred Rose Tarot, which was actually hers prior to me having it, so we still got Jeremy's vibes. So we're going to do March 24th to 31st for Libra. We're going to pick up general energy. We're going to use the same spread we did with the past, present, future, and we're going to use the tarot and Lenormand together and see what we wind up with. So can I please get a past for Libra? Let's really tune in here. There's a good past. Present. Future. We're going to get a what Libra is thinking about card. That was Libra. Ten of Swords. Stop that. And we have what you should be thinking about. That makes more sense. Judgment card on the bottom. That's the overall energy of the day. So, Libra, Judgment, your own card? Nah. No coincidence there. So, we're moving on to Lenormand. It's the Art Nouveau Lenormand. They're a little bigger, so they're not good on jumping. Can we please get... Okay, nose. I'm noticing it was a weapon snake, but I don't feel confident in that one. So, Libra. I'm just going to shuffle and pull because they are very polite cards. They don't just jump out. Ready? So I'm going to shuffle and get the vibe for Libra. March 24th to 31st. General read, but probably relationship. Alright, let's tune on in. Libra. Here we go. Libra. There it is. Okay, there we go. That was quite the shuffle. Okay. We've got a lot to cover. Let's jump on in. I'm way too perky for this hour. Okay. I don't take reversals. I don't think the cards have enough to say. Especially these decks. Get up here. Huh. Okay, we're just going to kick it off with a straight read and then we're going to clarify. In the past, we have the Rider and the Queen of Cups. This is a good thing because, the Rider, it's moving in, it's getting things done, you're in. The Queen of Cups, great balanced energy. It's, offer love, but it's balanced, aware of your emotions, not, being a slave to them. You're, just a really good vibe. Then I think with the letter, something came in that you weren't expecting, didn't feel so good about it, because you have the Seven of Cups. It kind of left you going, wait, well, that's not what I thought it was. So there's something that kind of puts you on edge in terms of being able to separate, like, the illusion from what actually is, and it's like, well, what's real? So this moon is this intuition. So, with the Hanged Man, that's kind of taking the time to sort this out. This is the, no, I need to, think about this. The moon also is about reputation and how you're perceived. I don't think this was you doing it and you're worried about how someone else is seeing you. I think it's more how you're seeing someone else, and you need to take this time to process, what is going on in the future. So I think, there's a little bit of slow going on it, but you know, because you are in this Ten of Swords energy right now. It's what you're thinking about, and it's just like a blah. Like, you know, how could you, what is this about? And, you know, Ten of Swords, you're kind of done with it. But you have the Six of Pentacles is what you should be thinking about, which is your balance. This is the reciprocation. This is the give and the take. This is the balancing out. Libra balancing? Never heard of that. So that's what you should be thinking about. Over here with Lenormand style, what you are thinking about versus what you should be thinking about is, you know, what you're thinking about is this fish energy. It's like, bleh, bleh. It's kind of all over the place. It's not very focused. It's also these deep emotions that you can't quite reconcile. It can also be work. Maybe you are thinking about work to get your mind off of this, you know, business over here with this person you're dealing with that's kind of hurting your feelings so much. But what you should be thinking about is home, which is your stability, which is, you know, your foundation. Where do you live? Once again, stability, balance. You know, it's not unheard of for Libra. So we're going to go back into clarifying, and we're going to go on the Queen of Cups here. I'm going to clarify all at once because I feel like the story runs together. So Ace of Swords. I think that Truth card, you know, that's the slice 'em and dice 'em of honesty. The Empress. You know, I think there was some kind of beginning, birth, beauty, and the Page of Pentacles, you know, which is slow going. I think maybe this Truth kind of put the brakes on things just a touch. And you're kind of like you can hear the tires screeching a little bit. Because the Rider, I mean, that's hi-ho silver away. You know, let's get a move on here, little doggy. What am I, Rich Little? Yeah, it's taking it back. Anyone knows who Rich Little is. All right, here we go. No. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. So you have the 2. You have the 1, 2. That's the Clover. That's the Luck. And then the Tree. So I think you thought this is going to be good. Like you got this stability thing going on. You've got, you know, happy Queen of Cups here and the Rider, and you think like, oh, we're moving along. Everything's going great. But I want to know about the Seven of Cups. Like, what happened with that you kind of went, what? Queen of Wands. So I don't know if there was a fire sign or somebody, you know, she's a sexy minx. She's a sexy minx. 10 of Wands with the King of Swords. Somebody was carrying some kind of burden with that 10 of Wands, I mean. I was looking at the King of Swords. There's this cutting energy. And I don't know if you were, you know, this is the air sign. And I think for Libra, maybe you're icing it out. You know, that's the, you know, okay, I just won't deal with you. You know, there's an ability to be just so logical, it's painful. And the ability to just shut it down. Shut her on down. And, you know, so we're going to move on to see what the letter's about. I got the cross wanted to come out, but it wasn't committing. Okay, can I please have 2 on the thing? All right, you're going to make me do it. You're going to make me draw. Get a good shuffle. And there it is. That's what I wanted. Okay. Clouds. Yeah, there's a lot to think about. And the ring. You're going to think about this relationship. And the book. Like I said, that the book, the knowledge, the scholar, it's very practical and logical. almost that you're processing this. Although the clouds, I don't think you like that confusion factor, because you want all your facts to weigh, pro, con. You want to make some lists. You want to just suss it out right now. And it's interesting that, I wanted to move on to the moon. You got the moon, the sun, and the stars. So, you have all the celestial beings kicking around in your outcome. And so, that's wonderful. It's the moon, the sun, and the stars. But I want to know how this hangman shakes out to make that happen. Okay, 5 of Wands. I don't know what kind of Greco-Roman style thing is going on in this card, but someone's got issues. Judgment. Alright, the 5 of Rods is the conflict. But it's not really like directed conflict. It's not like a 7 where you're defending. It's more like cluster F kind of comes to mind. I said the F word, I did. It's just like aggression for aggression's sake. There's no real focus of it, and that's annoying. That's conflict just for being conflicting. And then you have the Judgment and the Moon, and I think the Judgment harnesses, the Libra vibe of here's what it is. Boom, this is my decision. Then you have the Moon, which is the intuition, and knowing, and I think this goes back over here to the Moon as well. Like, it's a go with your gut. It's a go with your. Oh no, this one really wanted to say 3 of Cups. You just know something's not right. And even though it's a celebration card and it's, a party and stuff, and you could be celebrating things and it's friends and everything, I don't get the vibe with the other ones. But you got 8 of Wands with 6 of Cups. I think someone's coming back into the fray. And I'm getting this a lot. It's this total retrograde business where it's everyone's kicking up dust. Everyone's just kicking up dust. And if the Fool and the 3 of Swords came out any more during these readings, I mean, and I pre-shuffle, I shuffle, you see me shuffle, we're shuffling. 5 of Pentacles and Death. Because you wound up with the Fool and the 3 of Swords. You're making this change. You're taking this journey because you're hurt. And you're like, no. 5 of Pentacles. There's regrets attached to this with death. So, death is a change. It's a manifestation of change. And it's the tipping point that creates this 6 of Pentacles. But the 9 of Swords, you're still in your head. You're still trying to work it out and find the angles. With the 9 of Pentacles on top of it, you got 2 9s in a row here. Which, the 9 of Pentacles is you need to be independent. You need to stand, maybe alone for a little bit and be single and be strong and, just not be shakeable. And if you're dating, if you're getting out and about, don't lose that independence. Don't let that lose sight of that. So 2 of Swords, King of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, Hierophant. I'm not taking it, but they wanted to come out and just be seen. So I think that there's, more stability coming. There's just a lot of sourcing out. Yeah, okay, the Devil wanted to come out because those cards that popped out before, that's about kind of doing things on the up and up. Like, don't let stuff come in. 7 of Pentacles and the High Priestess. I think there's a little streak to you, Libra, who, with the 7 of Pentacles, you're still wondering if something's going to happen. I planted those seeds. I don't know if I'm going to get cauliflower or carrots. Let's wait around and find out. With the High Priestess, though, I think it's almost like you're waiting for the shoe to drop. You're not quite letting it go because Libra loves to balance those scales. Loves to, get the full story, have all the facts for the decisions. But maybe you might not get it this time, and that's not a bad thing. And maybe you don't want to know. I hate to say that, but, sometimes you let sleeping dogs lie. So we're going to move on to the fishums. I'm going to take a look at those guys. Okay, the cross wanted to be seen there. Alright, so over the fish we have the birds, which is more of this like gossipy, just fluttery, internet communication kind of stuff. I mean, maybe you are kind of poking around on their Facebook. Is Facebook still cool? I don't know. You're trying to gather the information that you want, to make this full picture so you can make your judgment. But I want one more on the birds, please. One more on the birds. The fox. Yeah, someone, you're really questioning motives here. What's the angle? Who's coming at what with you for what? And when? So I want to clarify the house. What about your stability do you really need to kind of take a look at and just be on the, be thinking about that. And once again, that goes along with the Nine of Pentacles. Like you may need to just, not hermit mode by any means, but just worry about you. Like, worry about yourself. Alright, I'm going to have to draw. And relax and shuffle. And there it is. Okay, yeah. Coffin. Alright, coffin. You need to make the change. With the death, you have the coffin, but then you have the crossroads right after it. So, the mice. I don't like seeing that. I'm going to draw one more for what is this. It's that nagging, gnawing, almost need to stick around just for the sake of seeing what happens. With the whip, it's the sexy card. Maybe somebody puts it down pretty well. But then with the heart, I think there's feelings that are there, but you're not getting what you want out of the situation, or they're not giving you what you want, and it's obviously becoming kind of, a thing that, if you let them come back, are they going to, straighten up, fly right this time around? I don't know. You know what, we're going to do the Romance Angels business and see what they have to say. I don't use this very often, but when I do, they seem to be pretty straight shooting. So, at least what I've found. So, make the effort in healing family issues. Great love is worth taking steps that you're guided to take, and your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Okay, that applies to a lot of people. Maybe there is something that, is kind of hanging over your head in regards to that. But, okay, you deserve love. There you go. You need to make the effort, but I think this effort is not for whoever is in the outskirts. This is for you. It's not about this other person that keeps kind of popping in, or whoever's going to be coming back. I think you, like I said, with the Nine of Pentacles and stuff, need to do you. I say you do you a lot. There's a lot of doing of yous. So we have dreams, compassion, and new beginnings for the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck for the Cosmic Pep Talk. The dreams and compassion, I think there are, it's not dreams so much as for me as I think goals or things you want to reach, but you may be hard on yourself when it comes to that, and you need to change that, drive and everything to get to these dreams into more compassion to create these new beginnings. And I just want to see if I was on the right track with that. Innocence. Yeah, it's, you know, I think you want to be so far ahead of the game that you forget, you know, what you're playing. Hope. So it's that simplistic baseline of, you know, just brass tacks of hope, innocence, being kind to yourself, and being able to have these new beginnings. So I think you need to work on yourself there, Libra. You know, and that's not a bad thing. It's almost to prepare yourself for whoever's coming in, because you have literally the sun, the moon, and the stars down here, and that's nothing to sneeze at. So stay in that sun, moon, stars energy, and just keep on a-rolling. All right, Libra, we'll have more germ in mid-April, but I will talk to you in the beginning of April, and be well.